boys and girls. All right, so today we're going to be looking at 5.2 fractions. We've been looking at fractions, but today we're going to really focus in on how we can write them using words, numbers, and pictures. So, of course, we always start with our mental math. Okay, so here are some multiplication problems with our times twos. So again, we should know these in our brain. We shouldn't have to count these out. Okay, so I want you to solve those. And then here, this should look familiar to our last problem that we had in the last lesson. It says the pink fraction circle pieces the whole. Show 1/3 the pink piece. Explain to partner how you know it shows 1/3. So here's a picture of 1/3. How do you know this is 1/3? I want you to write it out about telling me how you know this is 1/3. Okay? Explain about like what it has to be considered a fraction of a whole. Okay, think about those words like equal parts, okay, and the fraction. Those were our keywords last time. Today we're doing 5.2. We're going to represent fractions using words, numbers, and pictures. Okay, so again, we talked about how we can use this in real life, right? And so we want to be able to say these things or write these things down. So this is going to be really important to be able to do that. Okay, so we just talked about mental math and math message. We're going to review the parts of fractions, and then we're going to work together filling in a fractions chart. And you can use this chart today when I come back for my model and your practice time. Okay, so what are the parts of a fraction? Well, remember we have the numerator here is going to be the top number. Okay, this is going to be the number. Numerator sounds a lot like number. Okay, see, it even has many of the same letters, it's just missing the B here. Okay, so this is the number of pieces that are shaded. Okay, the denominator has a D like down, okay, and divided, okay, D for denominator, down, divided. This is how many pieces the shape is divided into. So this is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, which is 4. The numerator shows 3 because there are 3 of the 4 pieces that are shaded in. Okay, I like to remind myself numerator, denominator, numerator's on top, denominator's on the bottom. One of my favorite football college teams is Notre Dame. Woo-hoo. Okay, so ND, Notre Dame. Okay, numerator over denominator, denominator down. All right, so we're going to talk about how can we represent fractions using words, numbers, and pictures. Okay, thinking about the numerator, thinking about the denominator. So here you can see that this fraction is, this whole is split up into 2 pieces. So that would be considered a half, or these are halves. Okay, you can write that as 1/2, 1/2, 1 out of 2 equal parts. Okay, and then writing that as a number would be 1/2. So let's go ahead and look at that together here. So this would be if you were able to print this out, right? We could write it here, but I have it here for us in a little bit easier way for us to fill in. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. Okay, you can see that there are 3 pieces here. It's considered thirds. You write it as 1/3. So how many total pieces are there? The denominator would be 3. Okay, you can see that here. So that's how I know to fill this number. Okay, so this is 4/4. This is how you write it. And then here it shows 1/4, but I haven't drawn it. So I need to split this up into 4 pieces. So I'm going to draw half here and half here. And see how this is 1/3, so I need to color in one of the 4 pieces. Okay, and then you can continue doing that here with 6, 6, 1, 6. Here's the picture. We would write this as 1/6. There's 1 piece colored in with 6 total pieces. Okay, this is 1/8. Again, just like the top one, there are 8 total pieces. Okay, that's the denominator here, is the number we're going to write here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause here because I'm going to be able to use this thinking to help me with my next part.